On last week's SmackDown Live, Braun Strowman made a surprise appearance as he ambushed Samoa Joe, and it made some fans think that Braun might be jumping to SmackDown full-time during the Superstar Shake Up. But the truth is, Braun will be staying on Raw, and Samoa Joe will be jumping to Raw. As Samoa Joe becomes a full-time member of the Raw roster, it begins feuding with Braun Strowman. The Superstar Shake Up begins this Monday on Raw, and there will be several SmackDown wrestlers jumping over to Raw. And one of those wrestlers will be AJ Styles. AJ Styles will be making the move to Raw because he will have a fresh list of new opponents, as AJ is replaced by Kofi Kingston as the new top babyface of SmackDown Live. Finn Balor will once again defend his Intercontinental Championship this coming Monday on Raw. But this time, Finn will defend against a wrestler moving in the Superstar Shake Up, the returning Luke Harper. Elias will perform like he always does every week, but this week, Elias will be interrupted by a wrestler moving from SmackDown to Raw in the Superstar Shake Up. The rumored SmackDown wrestler who might interrupt Elias is R-Truth, along with Carmella, who will become official members of the Raw roster. Becky Lynch will show up on Raw as she lashes out against Lacey Evans for punching her on both Raw and SmackDown last week, and Becky challenges her to a match at Money in the Bank. Lacey will come out and respond to Becky and will accept her challenge, as both titles will be on the line as Becky Lynch faces Lacey Evans at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. This Monday on Raw, there will be another title for title match, but this time it will be for both tag team titles, as Raw Tag Team Champions Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder face off against the newly crowned SmackDown Tag Champions, the Hardys, and whichever team wins will become both the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions. EC3 has not wrestled a match on Raw for 2 months, but this Monday on Raw, EC3 might return and become a permanent member of the Raw roster, and bring along his brand new manager, Drake Maverick, who also managed EC3 in Impact Wrestling. The reason why Drake will be managing EC3 is because Vince McMahon believes that EC3 has a great look, but is not a good talker, and needs a mouthpiece like Drake to get him over. On last week's edition of Monday Night Raw, Lars Sullivan made his main roster debut as he beat down Kurt Angle. Then the next night on SmackDown, Lars beat down the Hardys. Lars will once again beat down a wrestler as WWE builds Lars up as an unstoppable wrecking machine. This week, Monday Night Raw will take place in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which is the hometown of Sami Zayn, who returned from injury last week, and he made it known that he is a heel. And this week, he will trash his hometown and tell the fans in Montreal how much he despises them. With Brock Lesnar gone from WWE for the foreseeable future, it's time for Seth Rollins to set his sights on a new wrestler to challenge him for the Universal title, and it might just be his closest friend, Roman Reigns. Roman and Seth will go face to face, as Roman asks Seth when he will get the Universal Championship match he deserves. But just before the tension can get any higher between the two Shield brothers, Drew McIntyre's music will play, and Drew will interrupt Roman and Seth, as Drew demands that he gets a Universal Championship match before Roman Reigns. And the current plan is to have Seth Rollins take on Drew McIntyre at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and hold off on the Roman and Seth match until next year at WrestleMania 36.